Why is Blue Team going back to Reach a full year after Halo 5? In Halo 5's new book, Shadows of Reach, we learned that Blue Team is searching for multiple assets to stop Cortana, but what exactly are these assets? Well, I have some theories that actually tie in with Halo 5's cutscenes and even Halo 4's beginning. The possibilities that have evidence, by the way, have got me super hyped. So I'm going to share it with you guys right now. Let's go ahead and jump into it. This video is supported by Audible. Snag yourself a free Halo audiobook right down in the description below. Halo Infinite will probably take place about 3 years after Halo 5 in 2561, meaning that this book will take place about 1 year after Halo 5 and about 2 years before Halo Infinite. Now, with that being said, will this book directly or indirectly tie in with the game? Abso-freaking-lutely. But there's actually a big problem with this book's premise, and that is Blue Team is going back to Castle Base on Reach, and Castle Base was more or less destroyed. Reading from Halo First Strike, we know that the base was pretty much blown up by Dr. Halsey, and they left it soon after, which makes sense why the description reads that they're looking through the rebel-filled Castle Base. So what happened was that in Halo Reach, you know that scene with Noble Team departing from Halsey and June? Well, actually, June would go deliver Halsey to Castle Base, and that is where she would do her research up until Reach was, well, completely taken over and glassed, and that Castle Base was, well, detonated from within. And we have a pretty strong impression that a lot of it was destroyed, at least, well, where Halsey was. But another big question I have is there something valuable enough to stop Cortana in here, really? I mean, why didn't the Covenant take this top secret asset years ago when Reach was taken? And we know for a fact that the Covenant know about Castle Base and were even inside it at one point, so why didn't they take it, whatever it is? So let's talk a little bit more about what actually is Castle Base, because that might tie into what this item or asset or assets are that Blue Team are looking for. So obviously Castle Base is located on Reach, but more specifically near the Highland Mountains. The base was originally a titanium mine, but mining into a foreigner facility would trigger Oni operations. So the base that was built was a massive complex hidden 2 kilometers under Menachite Mountain and was protected by granite, reinforced concrete, and etc. But Dr. Halsey worked there for quite some time, and since she is the creator of Cortana, it makes sense why the most obvious thing Blue Team is looking for is regarding something about Cortana and Halsey. But whatever this thing is, it's actually more than 2, as the official description for the book reads that Blue Team are looking to recover top secret assets, more than 1. Blue Team may be searching for a couple different things, and I have a few different theories that are very fun and interesting, but the very first one, and the biggest one, and the most likely one, is Dr. Halsey's journal. It may be about the journal itself, or information regarding about what was written in it, or maybe even information in other Dr. Halsey's drawings or journals, or things even regarding Cortana's origin and how she was created. Even Halo Waypoint shared Installation 00's video series shortly after this video announcement about her journal and the information in it. And considering the journal has so many important notes about Halsey's relationship with Cortana and how she sees her almost like a daughter, or that Cortana's model was based off Miranda, her daughter, it's very possible that that opening cutscene in Halo 5 may not have been so out of place and redundant as we first thought, or at least I did. When I first saw Halo 5's opening, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. It's kind of an interesting hook, but it doesn't really tie in with anything else in the story. It's just weird and redundant, and it doesn't make sense. However, as I've said for quite some time, is that may have been a foreshadow, and why Halo 5 may suck as it is right now, story-wise, a lot of things might pay off in this next Halo game, and that's what I'm really excited for. But if that is the case, then that also means what Halsey says here is a huge clue into Halo Infinite's plot, and that, well, what she said was that Locke would eventually be ordered by Oni to kill not only herself, Halsey, but also Cortana. And the Cortana side certainly makes sense right now, but that would be pretty strange because I think Locke and many other Spartans, including Master Chief and Blue Team, are on the Infinity, sort of like an arc, trying to escape for Cortana, and they are dropped off on Reach. So that is very interesting to see if that plot tease goes into Halo Infinite, and Locke, for whatever reason, is ordered by Oni to kill Halsey, and I wonder how Master Chief would react to that if he had a chance to stop Locke from killing her, and why would Oni even want Halsey dead during this very vulnerable time for humanity? It doesn't make much sense, but I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section below. Another thing I would love for 343 to explore is Dr. Halsey's relationship with Cortana. She is more or less her mother, much like how Master Chief looks at Halsey maybe as a mother, or someone else might, and that I would love to see Halsey and Cortana actually speak to each other. Last time we heard about the relationship, Cortana basically called Halsey a monster, so she is very upset at Halsey. And that actually might make sense that Oni is forced to kill Halsey through the orders of Cortana, but of course Oni wants Cortana to also, well, be destroyed. So it would be an interesting dynamic there. But the book also elaborates a bit on Cortana's ability to split, or also called Solomonic solution, and that is essentially how Cortana was able to not only accompany Master Chief on the Battle of Reach in orbit during an orbit mission, as well as accompany Dr. Halsey decode Forerunner symbols at the end of Halo Reach, the game, and be delivered by Noble 6 as the package. That wasn't all of Cortana, it was rather a half version, a fragment of Cortana. And we also see this at the end of Halo 4, where Cortana turns herself into fragments of sorts into several parts and defeats the Didact. Also, Cortana's death in Halo 4 was most certainly the death of Cortana as we know, but what came out the other end was a fragment of that Cortana that we used to know, and this fragment is corrupted. Now, that last part is a bit of a theory, sort of, but it has a lot of evidence backing it up. And one has to wonder if this fragmentation may be in of itself a weakness in this new Cortana, and that might actually be the way to, well, take Cortana down. It might also be the reason why evil Cortana is acting the way she is because she's corrupted and also perhaps affected by the logic plague, but, well, that's another whole aspect of it, isn't it? Aside from that, though, I think generally Blue Team is there, obviously, for something to defeat Cortana with, right? That's even in the description of the book. And how that ties into Halo Infinite might actually be super relevant. It might be the reason why Zeta Halo was partly destroyed. It could be a weapon, maybe it could be something that they can affect Cortana with, maybe some backdoor code or something like that. But the most popular theory, I think, so far that I've seen in comments is that Blue Team is looking for not Halsey's journal, even though I think that is likely the case. It's probably something regarding information, but they might be seeking out the creation of a new Cortana model, a duplicate, or something of that variation. In Halo 4's beginning, Master Chief insists on finding Dr. Halsey because he figured that she could fix Cortana's rampancy because Cortana was basically overage. And I feel like this was foreshadowing to 343's overall story arc that they started all the way back in 2012, right? Because they had planned for Halo and knew Halsey was going to play a crucial role, an intimate role in Cortana's destruction, or at least the created war, and even a reborn creation of Cortana would be really fascinating to see. But later in Halo 4, Cortana whines about being replaced by a new Cortana model, that the new Cortana model would not be her, that with Halsey's permission, Oni would give Chief another Cortana model. But honestly, at this point, well, that's probably a good thing. A new Cortana doesn't mean all that rampancy. It means a fresh life. It's a new 7 years before rampancy becomes a problem again. And it would be really cool to see Cortana, well, go toe-to-toe with evil Cortana. John working with a Cortana 2, a duplicate, could be a bit uncomfortable at first for Chief, and it would be interesting for a new Cortana to deal with that kind of, well, difficulty of not really being able to connect with Chief because the old Cortana is kind of, dead to him, that she's evil now. It would be a very interesting dynamic. I don't know if fans would like it, but it certainly would be interesting, especially if Cortana and evil Cortana got into a fight, either just verbal or even somehow in the domain. It would be also hilarious to see the original find out about Chief's replacement. I think that there's just a lot there I think would be interesting. Another thing that Master Chief may have retrieved in Dr. Halsey's lab or somewhere in Castle Base that we see in Halo Infinite might be the AI chip we see at E3 2019's reveal, which has the name that pops up on Chief's HUD, Weapon Containment Device. Now, this has led myself, including some others, to think that Chief has a hoax chip or some kind of trapping device to lure Cortana into it to either kill or trap her. It's also possible that going into Castle Base would end up leading Chief to have a new AI. Not a new Cortana, but just in general, a new AI. There's actually some talk about that. Durandal, new AI could potentially, possibly, very possibly happen. And I think 343 has already planned that. There's some foreshadowing in the comics about that actually happening, but I won't go too much into it. Another big thing people are excited for, that Blue Team is looking for something to hold mendicant bias into, which could be that AI chip or some information that would lead to the realization about mendicant bias being some, having a role to play in Cortana being defeated. Maybe information about his main core's whereabouts, a chip that could maybe contain him, or something even relating to the domain in general. In fact, that mysterious 2013 trailer that has been long theorized as a part of the Halo 5 cut, or even part of what they thought Halo 6 would be, could be a big part of Halo Infinite, and I love thinking about this trailer. There's actually a cut that has Halo 5 at the end that kind of leaked, I think, but they said that it was just for Halo in general, so there is something certainly going on with this that's very interesting. Frank O'Connor said that he was trying to hide himself, which would be interesting if he was trying to cloak into the environment. And by the way, the environment totally looks like what could be a desert part of Reach that has been glassed. This whole place looks a little bit glassed, honestly. But looking at this environment, some say it's actually the Ark, which it does look like the Ark more, to be honest, more than Reach, but it could be Reach, although the Reach moon has rings on it, so I don't know. But the AI chip may be a housing unit for this mysterious but long-teased mendicant bias. I mean, he's been teased as far back as Halo 2. We even know that there are parts of him on Zeta Halo. I'll say that again. He is on Zeta Halo, guys, most likely, along with chambers of contained flood. Even grave mines are there. So with Zeta Halo partly being destroyed, I think this gives the possibility of the flood escaping and thus giving mendicant bias even a more obvious and crucial role into being in Halo Infinite. If you have any theories to build upon this theory or separate theories, let me know down in the comment section below. Guys, if you want to learn more about all this, then I recommend reading Halo First Strike, or even better yet, getting the audiobook down on audible.com, a free trial, link down in the description. Well guys, anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to drop this video a like if you ended up enjoying, and subscribe here on HaloFollower for more Halo news and content and lore, and I will catch you guys in the next one soon. Alright, you take care. Peace.